Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. Today I'm going to tie a LivelyLegz jig head hare's ear. The hook that I'm using is LivelyLegz Lip Splitters fly hooks. This is a 310J size 12. It is a barbless jig hook, and you use the slotted beads on these. They are very sharp. The bead that I have on there is a LivelyLegz Down and Dirty slotted tungsten bead, 3mm for size 12 or 14, and these are copper. And the legs that I'm going to use are, of course, the LivelyLegz yellow legs, size 12-14, and there you see them. I'm going to use Vivus thread, and this is 12/0. We're going to start that thread behind the bead and bring it back, put a base of thread on there. Keep that thread at a 45-degree angle, and you will get nice touching turns. And bring that right back to the bend of the hook. Go ahead and break that off. I'm going to start by putting the tail on. For the tail, I have pheasant tail centers. I have like 4 of them here. Before you pull them off, you want to stand them, get them at a 90 degree from the stem, and you will line the tips up. Then pull them all off together. And we're going to make that tail somewhere around the length of the body or the hook shank. You can give that a few wraps and then pull it to the size that you want. For the ribs, since there's not a lot of space, this is like a shorter shank. It's a too extra heavy hook, so it's a strong hook, but the shank is kind of smaller. I'm going to use a gold wire because I have a size 16 tinsel, and that's still a little bit big. So I'm going to use the gold wire, and we're going to secure that. And then the excess just broke off. I'm going to take my leg, and here we have the legs. You could actually put them on either way. You could put them on that way and make that the front, but this is the front. I'm going to take the legs, I'm going to trim a little bit of that front tab off. I'm going just inside the legs. Just want a little bit of a tab there just to hold, to secure the legs. I hold them towards me on the first wraps. And it's going to pull it to the top of the hook. And if you cut that tab at the same spot on every one, you'll have a consistent position from the eye or the bead. We're going to wrap just in back of this, and we're going to make that pretty tight there. Now, 3 legs is too many for this, so I'm going to cut off the back pair. and I'm pulling on it, and I'm going to cut it off pretty close so that I have a little bit of a tab there. You can see I still have a tab there, and then I can use, after I do two, I have two pairs of singles, and I could use them on another fly. We'll bring our thread back to the rear. I'm going to use a dark hare's ear dubbing. And I want to make a nice taper on this. Always remember, when you're dubbing, you can always add more. Like you can see, this back section it's a little bit skinnier. You could just put it right on top of it. But it's always good to have less, because you can always add more. I'm going to slide that up. And we're going to begin to wrap this. I'm going to back that off. I'm going to add more dubbing. Take those real long guard hairs out of there. And go ahead and wrap this. I'm going to give it a little bit of a figure eight there and bring that up between the legs, so that way we get it covered nice. Now I'm going to take my rib, because we only want the abdomen ribbed. We're going to give that about 3 wraps. Once, twice, 3 times. I think I'm going to go 4 with this, and I'm going to bring that up between the legs on the 4th one. You just have to be careful that you don't move the leg when you do a figure 8 or wrap over the leg. Make sure that the material is tight to the tie-in point. And we're going to remove that. Helicopter that. It's not very easy with everything in the way. Unless I get it back to the top. There we go. Gold wire is a little heavier. Now we're going to finish this off with our dubbing. We're going to make this a little bit heavier. It's always a good idea to kind of try to get it a little bit darker on the thorax area. It will look more like the dark wing case of a fly that is going to hatch soon. Before the mayflies hatch, their wing cases get dark. Put a little bit more dubbing on there. Wet my fingers there a little bit so I can get a tighter wrap on there. Gonna move it to in front of the legs. Just make sure you don't wrap a leg in. Now I'll take my whip finish. Going to use the poke and snip. And here we have a LivelyLegz gold-ribbed hare's ear on a jig hook. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. And leave comments, questions, suggestions. Please visit my sponsors. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.